Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. To get this yummy chocolate cake, you don't need butter, you don't need any hand mixer. All you have to do is just to bring the simple ingredients and you get the most beautiful, delicious, moist chocolate cake. So just keep watching and let's get baking. Right here you have all the ingredients, which I'll also be listing in the description below, but it's just a 9-step ingredients which we'll be using to achieve this yummy cake. Right here I begin by spraying my pan with an oil spray. I will then line this sheet pan with a parchment paper. To start making our cake, we'll be using the cocoa powder, which we'll pour into a sieve. Sieve the cocoa powder through a fine mesh. Next, we'll be using our hot water to pour into this cocoa powder, and this is to ensure that the cocoa powder melts or dissolves properly without having any balls in it. So you need the hot boiling water to dissolve the cocoa powder. Set this aside. In another bowl, we'll start sifting our dry ingredients, and I'm starting with my all-purpose flour, which I just poured into the sieve, and we shake this to get it loose and to aerate the all-purpose flour. I'll then add some baking soda. Our salt. And sift together. In goes in our sugar. Sift it also. And whisk your dry ingredients together. As you are preparing this, the hot chocolate also is cooling on the other side. What we'll be doing next will be to add our sunflower oil, or you can use any neutral oil of your choice. But for this recipe, I'm using sunflower oil. Stir this together with the cocoa powder mixture. Beat your 3 large eggs. And pour it into the mixture. As you're pouring it, just keep stirring so the eggs don't cook. Although by now our cocoa mixture has cooled down a little bit. So we whisk this together, the cocoa powder, hot water, oil, and the 3 large eggs. I will then add a tablespoon of vanilla extract to this cake to give it that boost. Whisk together. And then we'll now pour the wet ingredients into the dry one. How easy is that? Just whisk it together to break up any flour lumps and to ensure that the flour mixes very well with the wet ingredients. Whisk together. I will also advise that use your spatula, your silicone spatula, to make sure that you get to the bottom of the bowl because I just used my hand whisk, and when I was pouring it into the pan, you will see that as we go on, that some of the flour was at the bottom of the bowl. So I will advise at this point, make sure you use a silicone spatula to scrape the bottom of the bowl to make sure that all the flour loosens up and mixes with the rest of the cake batter. You see what I was telling you? I had some cake flour that didn't mix very well, some all-purpose flour, and I had to turn it very well. So I'm glad that I saw that, so that we don't have some parts of raw cake flour. But anyway, always use your silicone spatula to mix the bottom of the bowl before you pour your cake batter into your cake pan. With your oven preheating at 180 degrees Celsius, pop in your cake batter into the oven and allow to bake for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, our cake is out of the oven and it looks so good. And when I touch it, it comes out very soft and springs back at the touch. You can see how moist that looks. As the cake is cooling down, I'll start making my chocolate glaze. And this chocolate I wanted to use to give the chocolate cake, to make it even richer. And I will begin by breaking 2 packs of chocolate, or 2 slabs of chocolate in my mixing bowl. I put a pot and added some water because I'm going to melt it over a double boiler, so that we can use it to cover the cake. I break the chocolate slabs even into smaller pieces so it can melt faster. Place it over your double boiler and allow this to melt. Also ensure that the water is not too high so it doesn't go or hit directly to the bottom of the bowl, because what you need is the steam of the hot water to melt the chocolate. Chocolate doesn't need very high heat so it doesn't burn. It just needs that moderate heat so that it can melt gently. So we are tempering our chocolate by putting it over the double boiler and stirring occasionally so that the chocolate slabs or the chocolate pieces melt very well. Our chocolate is now melted and it looks so good. Turn off your heat. Clean the bottom of your bowl. And you see what we have. I'll then take the melted chocolate and pour it right over our cooled chocolate cake, pouring over this chocolate sauce over the cake. Scrape the whole bowl to ensure that everything comes out of the bowl. With my offset spatula, I'll spread this melted chocolate over the chocolate cake, making sure that the melted chocolate touches every side of the cake. Pop your cake into the fridge and allow it to chill for some 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you see the cake has set, the chocolate, the tempered chocolate has also set, and now we're ready to cut our cake into squares. Wow, that is so yummy. Looks so good, so moist, super delicious. Can you see that? How easy was that? You will really love this cake if you make this or when you make it. Looks super yummy and it's super delicious. I'll cut the rest of the cake, cut them into squares so I can share with my friends. And you see how the cakes look. The cake looks like brownies when you cut them in squares, and they are super yummy, super delicious, and it was super easy to make. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, don't forget to do so. See you in my next video. Bye.